This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, good morning. Good morning. So, previous session we discussed about IDOC sender adapter, right? Any questions? Sorry, not IDOC, sorry. File sender adapter configuration. Any questions on that? Okay. In today's session, we'll discuss about file receiver adapter configuration, and then see what are the details that we need to configure. Okay. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So in the previous session, we discussed about how do we, what are these parameters and how do we provide these values depending on the requirement, right? So we understood right now we talk about only XML data. That's why we select a file. If we talk about text file as in flat file, then we go with a file content conversion. Okay. So now we'll talk about a receiver adapter. So our requirement is we have to pick a file, and then if the data is in XML format, well and good. If that is not in XML format, then we have to um, apply FCC file content conversion and convert the data into proper XML format. Okay. So once you have done that, what you will do, you will apply the mapping, and once your mapping is completed, your data will be converted to your target structure, right? So now once your data is converted internally into target structure, you have to send that data to the target system, okay, or the receiver. So in this case, while sending data to receiver, we use a file receiver channel in our scenario as the receiver communication is file. So we have defined one file receiver channel where you can see similar kind of information that is being asked, where you can see target directory. So this is nothing but the directory to which we want to create a file, and the second option is create target directory. It will allow you to create the target directory if it is not available. For suppose my directory is let me see this. For suppose, let us assume that this is my directory path, target underscore folder. Okay, so this is my directory path where I have to create a file. Let us assume that if this folder is not available, so inside this folder I have to create a file. If this folder is not available, then as you have already selected this checkbox to create the target directory, If the directory is not available, then the directory will be automatically created first, and then your file will be placed inside that directory. If you uncheck this option, what happens? It means it will try to look for this directory first. If it is not available, then it will throw you an error stating that directory is not available. Okay, if you check this box, it means it will look for this directory or folder. If that is available, then it's well and good. It will try to create this file in that folder. If it is not available, then it will try to create this folder first, and then it will try to create this file inside that folder. Okay, so this is very important for you, because when you try to place some file, then you have to ensure that that particular directory is available or not. If it is not available, you have to ensure that this is selected for you. Next, file name schema. So what does it mean? It means in with which particular name you want to create the file. I would like to create the file as employee data.txt, okay, or .xml. So I would like to create file as employee data.xml, wherein I would like to have this as unique file each and every time. So let us assume that I have this file already, employee data.xml. Okay, it doesn't have any other thing as part of the file naming convention. It's just that employee data.xml at 10 a.m. For suppose if you run this file again, run this interface again at 11 a.m., it will try to create a file, right? So that file also will contain the same name, employee data.xml. Then if there is any file that is already available with the same name, then it will throw you an error. Okay, because a file is already available with the same name, that's why it is not able to create another file with the same name. So to avoid that uh, such scenarios, to avoid such scenarios, what we can do, you can, while creating the file name or while creating the file, you can add some additional text here, like a timestamp or message id or anything that you want, so that that will make this file name as a unique one. Okay, so that you can add it here under processing tab. You can create, you can select file construction mode. So there are different types for you here. What does create help you? Create file construction mode will help you to create a file. If there is any file with the same name, then it will give you option to override the existing file. So if you select create, and then if you select this overwrite existing file, then if you already have employee data.xml, then it will try to override that employee data.xml file with the new file that you are going to create. If you uncheck this, then again it will throw an error stating that file is already available with the same name. Okay, next, append. Append, what it will do is it will try to, for suppose if you have a file with the same name employee data.xml, then when for the next time if you try to create file with the same name, then it will be appended for you, okay, one after the other. It means a single file will be available wherein all the data that you're trying to send for each call will get appended at the end of that file. Okay, so we'll have practicals on all these options on the coming session. So just try to understand how this works. Add timestamp. So when I click on add timestamp, what happens is my file will be created with this name. So this is my file name, right, currently. Okay, so now my file will be created with this name like this, employee data.2022. What is the date today? 21. Okay, 11/21. Okay, time is 0813. Okay, 0813 34, like this. So this is my year, and this is my month, this is my date, this is my hours, minutes and seconds. So like this, your file will get created with a specific name, so that every time this name will be different. So now the time is 35. For suppose if you run it in the next second, then that file name will be like this. Both are different, right? Both are not same. Both are different here because this is having file name as a 34 and this is having file name as 35, which are different. So that's how you can ensure that you are creating a different file each and every time by selecting this option add timestamp. Similarly, you can select add message ID, which is nothing but a message ID will be added to your file name. Message ID is nothing but the ID that gets created during runtime when your message is getting executed in PI. So when your message is getting executed in PI during runtime, a unique message ID will be created for it. So this message ID will not be same as similar to other any other message that has been already executed or going to be executed. Okay, so message ID is a unique one. Remember that, that's very important. Message ID is unique. So when we add that message ID, which is a unique value to this file name, so the file name also becomes unique, right? So no two files will have the same file name with message ID as part of it. Okay, yeah. Next, add counter. Counter will help you to add this counter value to your file each and every time when it gets executed. Okay. Next, file type binary or text that we have already seen in the previous session. So that's it. And status is active. So now when you want to create a file in XML format, so that inside the file, if you want the data in XML format, okay, so in that case, you can go ahead with the message protocol as file, and then you can provide the corresponding folder and all these things. For suppose if you want to create the file in a flat file format as a CSV or anything, then you go with file content conversion option for message protocol. Then you can see one more tab got added for you here, content conversion. This will help you to create the file accordingly. Okay, so for now we will talk about files with XML data. Later we'll talk about files with content conversion. Any questions on file receiver adapter
Uh,
configuration?
this target directory, where it is storing this file exactly?
This is also an application server for you because we selected NFS here. So NFS means it is connecting to local folder. So you can see here last class I showed you where it is getting saved, right?
Yeah.
Okay, SAP log and then BMF. So you can see here this target folder, a folder with the name target underscore folder is not available here. So when I select this option, create target directory, when my interface gets executed now, then my target folder will be created by my PI itself directly. Here under this BMF path, my target folder will be created, and inside that my target file will be created. Okay, so if it is already available, fine, it will use that. If it is not, then it will create a folder and it will create the file accordingly. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. So it is non-SCP, right? So it will store in
which one?
sender and receiver. Receiver is a non-SCP, right? So it will store in non-SCP application.
No, no. I just took business component. See, business component, you can use it for SAP or non-SAP. It doesn't matter. So here, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to send data to my local application file server, which is related to my SAP application only. So I used a business component for that purpose. So it is not going to impact my interface. I can use business component or business system. Anything can be used. But as when I said we use business component for non-SAP, it's ideal that we go with business component for non-SAP applications, but for SAP applications, either you can use business system or business component depending on your requirement. So if it is an IDOC communication, then using business component is not going to help you. We have to use business system. So you will get to know all these details one by one. So as we are dealing with file-based communication with SAP application, We go with business component also, not an issue for that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fine. Any other questions? So first, what we will do is we will try to see the schema for us, and then try to create some XML data according to it, and then place it inside this folder in the source folder, and then see how it works. I'll click on create, not create, add timestamp. So this is my source folder, right? So this is my source folder. Okay, I have given it a start.pdf, start.txt. I've given it a star.xml. So any file with the extension type as .xml, that will be picked by my file sender channel. So let's open these files in the channel. So you can access these files in the channel. You can see the logs for it using communication channel monitoring. So you can access that communication channel monitoring from here. Click on configuration and home, and then click on adapter engine, and then go with communication channel monitor. Okay, you can paste that name here, click on enter, then you will get the file name, sorry, sender communication channel that you have created. You can see here, you can see the status as inactive. That's why it did not work for you till now. Okay, it is in inactive status. Why? Because you have selected the status as inactive here. So for you to keep it active, you have to click on active, and then click on save, and then activate. Now you click on go again. Now you can see the status got changed automatically. It is in running status. You can see the logs here. Polling started at 8:19:11 and the processing finished successfully. Poll interval started. So what does it mean? It means at this time your channel connected to that source location to pick a file, and then as there is no file, your channel polling got completed, and the next poll will be after 60 seconds. Okay, let's wait for 60 seconds, and then see, you will see one more entry, which is an empty entry again. So every time you'll be having empty entries like this whenever according to the polling interval that you have given. Okay. Okay, you can see again at 8:20:11, exactly after 1 minute, again your processing started, and processing finished because there is no file. It's an empty poll for you. Again, polling started. So like this, for every 1 minute, this channel will try to connect to that server, and then try to pick that file. Okay. So now let's try to place some file. So let's go to ESR first, and then take the sample data. So now what we are trying to do, we are trying to place a file in that source folder in XML format, and then that file will be picked by my sender channel, and then a target file should be created. Okay, after mapping got executed. So we'll try to place that file here. Okay, so we will try to, for that file, where did we create the Okay, Vasishtha, right? Yeah. Okay. This is our schema. Okay. So you can see here. So what is the first name? Shravan Kumar. Location and company one. So I'll create a duplicate record for another employee. Shravan to Kumar to Chennai company 2. Okay, so this is related to employee 1 and this is related to employee 2. So this is my sample data now. So this is my sample data. So now what I'll do, I'll try to create this sample data as an XML file. Okay. Okay, I've created it as employee data.xml. Now what I'll do, I will try to place this file here. So what do we have to do? You have for my file sender channel, it is expecting a .xml file in this folder. So I have already created one .xml file for my purpose, right? So this is the .xml file. I'll place it here in the BMF folder. Let's see, it will get picked automatically by itself. See, channel will pick the file automatically within no time. So it having polling interval for 60 seconds, right? So already one poll interval. Yeah, now you can see the file got picked automatically. Okay, and you can see now your target underscore folder got created earlier. When we see, you don't have this folder at all, but now your target underscore folder got created because your file receiver channel got executed, and then it looked for this folder as it is not available, and you have selected this option right to create target folder. That's why it created this target folder for you, and then place the file. So you can see the file got created with the timestamp added for this 2022 1121 hyphen 08 2412 like this. Okay, so when you try to create place same file again. And also one thing that you need to remember is you don't have this here. So you have this processed folder. You can see the file got moved to processed folder here. Okay. Next, we will try to one more option that you have to select is that you have to know is okay. This time you might face some error because okay, I'll show you why. First, we'll see the error, then we'll understand. So I place the same file again. Okay, rather than saying it as a same file, another file with the same name. Okay, content inside that might be different in your real-time scenarios, but what you have done, you have placed another file with the same name. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, it is not getting picked. Let's see the logs, adapter engine, and then click on message monitor, click on go. Okay, both are success. Let's see now. Okay, file got picked, but you can see this is at 826 only. I think now itself it got saved. Let's see the logs. So this is the latest one, 826. Okay, so your file got archived. Okay, after processing. So we have selected archive option, right? Your file got archived after processing. And then well, if you go through these logs, you should be able to understand these logs clearly. If you go through these, if you read these logs, so your sender channel picked this file employee data.xml. Okay, and then it got archived after processing. Okay, and then your receiver communication channel got executed here, and you are trying to place the file in this folder. Okay, uh, all these things, okay, are available for you here. So now let's do one thing. So here I, okay, till now we have seen add timestamp, right? We'll see add message ID. So you have seen add timestamp where you can see the difference now within the time, so that each file is having unique name. So we have added, we have selected message ID, right? So now when you selected message ID, see how the data or how the file will get created.
Do we have access to this network?
Yeah, you
Network.
will be given access. You can take it from admin team.
Oh,
Okay, so you can see here file got picked, and then if you go to target folder, you can see file naming convention got changed now. So it got created with message ID. So if you see the message log here for the third message, what is the message ID that you see? 799-1A673, 799-1A673. So the same message ID that gets created for that particular message, that same message ID will be added as part of the file name also for you. Okay, so this is how the message ID will be added for you as part of your file name to keep that file name unique. Okay, next we'll see what kind of errors that we will face. First thing is we did not select this. So now what happens, as the target folder is already available for you, if you uncheck this option, it is not going to make any difference for you because target folder is already available. And if you place the file, then it will be picked, and it will be saved automatically, okay, in the target folder. I'll keep it as for every 30 seconds so that it will be picked automatically. Okay, polling interval I've changed to 20 seconds. So anyways, my file got picked. If I go to target folder, you can see one more file with the timestamp got created. Okay, sorry, message ID got created. BA 2820AA. Okay, you can see here BA 202820AA. So like that. Okay, so now what happens? Let me delete this folder. Okay, I'm deleting this target underscore folder here. So now my target underscore folder is not available, where I have to place a file inside that folder, but it is not available, and I did not even check this box. Okay, so now when I place the file in my source folder, see what happens. See, you have one error here. If you click on this, you should be able to see. Okay, file receiver channel throws an error for you, where you can see error. Target directory bmf / target underscore folder does not exist. Why? Because this folder is not available for you, and you have unchecked that create target directory option. That's why, as it is not available and the channel is not able to create that folder by itself automatically, that's why it is throwing you error stating that this folder is does not even exist for you to create a file. So this is an error for you. Okay, so you can face this kind of errors. One more error is, let's assume that we selected create, okay, and I did not overwrite it. Okay, so for the first time, when I create when I process this file, you can see. Okay, you can see target underscore folder got created, and your file also got created with the same name, because I have given a name here as employee data.xml, right? Employee data.xml, this is the name that I've given in my receiver channel. Okay, what I'll do, employee. Okay, I placed the file once again. It got picked. Now you can see target underscore employee data file got created here. So why it got created with the name? This is the name that I've given, target underscore employee data.xml, and I did not. I used the file construction mode as create. So let us assume that I have a similar kind of file. It doesn't matter what is your source file, okay, what is the content it is having. So when you provide another file, so that file also will get picked, and pi will try to process that file, right? When it process that file and try to create that data as a receiver file, what happens? File got picked. You see here, you don't see another file here. Why? Because this is in error status for you. You can see here, this is in schedule status. If I select this, you can see here target file target underscore employee data.xml already exists and must not be overwritten. Why? Because the new file that you're trying to create is having this naming convention, and there is an already one file in your target folder with the same file name. That's why it is telling you that file with the same name already exists, and it is not able to overwrite that because you did not select that option at your file channel level. Okay, so based on the configuration that you are trying to configure, you have to very careful that what is the configuration that you are using and what is how it will work. Okay, yeah. So this is how your file receiver channel works with XML data as part of your file from end to end. So we have seen how to configure file receiver channel and how to process a file by connecting to that folder and then place it and then see the directories. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay then. Thank you. That's it for today. I have another call to attend. So we'll connect again in tomorrow's session, and then we will discuss about FCC, how it works. Okay. Before you leave, one more thing. One second.